Can I have another hug, Mom? Can you hug me really tight? It's okay.
Renowned sensitives and paranormal investigators Alan Megargle and April Slaughter met at Phenomenon, a paranormal conference near Skinwalker Ranch in Vernal, Utah. Met to discuss a potentially haunted doll. After their conversation, they agreed to join forces with their technologies to see if they could reach beyond the veil and communicate with the dead. What materialized was not only surprising, but holds the key to understanding what happens to loved ones after passing to the afterlife.
As I got closer to the dials, it was like somebody had put something cooling, like a cooling agent that made you kind of tingle, like kind of when your hand wakes up after it falls asleep, to a smaller degree. And it was mostly on this side of my hand, and it was steadily
That's
there.
What I felt on my elbow.
Yeah, it was steadily there for a good 20 seconds or more.
And you could see in the SLS where your hand and it moved together, like it was pushing you. It was pretty cool, yeah.
So validation, you know?
Well, for sure, for sure.
When I learned to stop second guessing what I was feeling, then that's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
It was decided to use the haunted and abandoned Hotel Vernal to conduct the attempt to contact the dead, utilizing their custom-built technological devices, April's Frank's box, and Alan's SLS Connect camera. Hotel Vernal opened in 1947 on East Main Street. For decades, the hotel was the place to be in Vernal. With its grand entrance and spectacular overhanging chandelier, the hotel had hosted plush banquets, large weddings, prom pictures, and famous guests. In fact, the hotel was once home to many activities, including a radio station, a jewelry store, the Chamber of Commerce, a restaurant, and, of course, a salon. The hotel's history is filled with many joyful memories and strange tragedies. Once known as the Weston Lamplighter, the hotel hosted its last guest in 1991. Today, the rooms and its relic treasures from the past have been turned into Hotel Vernal haunted tours and events. April had used the hotel for her paranormal investigations in association with the Phenomenon conference and felt there was a good opportunity to reach beyond the veil to someone that had passed on to the realm of the afterlife. The notion that a person's spirit lingers beyond the confines of the physical body is an ancient belief that traces its roots back to the mysterious rituals of the early Egyptians. Ancient civilizations such as the Greeks and Romans also wove intricate tales of spirits transcending mortality, invoking ceremonies and offerings to honor those who have passed on to another realm. Throughout history, the major religions have painted vivid depictions of souls departing the earthly vessel. Hindus believe in the concept of the eternal soul, while Buddhists embrace the cycle of reincarnation. Even the Christian Church, with its emphasis on the afterlife and judgment, had a belief in afterlife souls in purgatory, souls seeking redemption and assistance from the living to pass on to heaven. At the turn of the 20th century, a curious obsession with bridging the gap between the living and the departed swept the Western world. Mediums, often women, claimed the ability to commune with the spirit world, hosting seances that blurred the line between reality and the supernatural. While disbelief loomed, the tantalizing possibility of contacting the spirit realm persisted, bolstered by inexplicable phenomena and unexplained encounters that occurred during seances. In the 21st century, despite the skepticism of scientific materialists, the belief in ghosts and the eternal soul endures in diverse cultures and new movements, such as spiritual but not religious.
Great, thank you.
In all spiritual traditions and practices, there is an acceptance of immortality. Acceptance supported today by the many accounts of near-death experiences. And now, supported by what happened in the Hotel Vernal. The hotel lobby has been restored to as it was back in its glory days, including its spectacular chandelier and steps to the upper haunted rooms. In addition to April and Alan, there was cameraman and producer Ron Meyer, 4 close friends of April, and a representative of the hotel who joined in the experiment.
Real quick rundown. I am clairsentient, clairvoyant, and clairaudient. So I have all kinds of things coming at me all at once. And for the investigation that we did at the Vernal Hotel, there were people that I wanted to kind of be around me in a circle of trust, as it were. I'm used to doing large investigations with people, mostly strangers, some acquaintances, but I really wanted to focus my energy and my talents or my experience in a group with people that knew me or that knew a lot about me, that I trusted, that I could be vulnerable with. And so I'd had past experiences with everyone in that room. And I chose my friends George and his daughter Emma List to be with me because they've always just been so supportive and so kind, and have forged a friendship with them. I wanted Byron and his wife Candace Diamond to be part of it because they seem to have, as a dynamic, abilities that kind of enhance my own as far as being in touch with the other side. And a friend named Jordan that was there with the event that I was working, Phenomicon, he really just wanted to help facilitate that. He didn't really anticipate, being kind of drawn into such an event, but he allowed us into the building and was happy to witness it. And he's always been a very kind person as well. So and then having Ron and Alan there that was just the cherry on the top, because I've worked with them on previous projects before, and I just had an instant sort of trust with them as well. So it was really just a circle of people that I felt comfortable with being vulnerable around, and it just heightened my ability to connect on a level that I don't get to do in front of large groups of people.
The team gathered in the television room, an eerie room with all the old television sets from days of old. April began setting up her Frank's box.
Frank Sumption was always an interesting character to me, and I learned about him about 15, 16 years ago, really delved into the work that he was doing, and I reached out to Frank because I was really doing a lot of research in the ITC research field. And I asked him if I paid him, if he would build me one of his famed Frank's boxes. And he said, absolutely not. I don't want anything to do with you. Never talk to me again. And kind of left it at that. Well, I left it alone. I didn't want to push the guy. He seemed a little cantankerous back in the day. And the boxes just started, when he was working with his own boxes, his own devices, they just started saying things like, you need to build one for April Slaughter. So people from the other side, I don't exactly know who, were pushing him to get me a device to work with. And so that started our really friendship. Our friendship at that point kind of grew, and he sent me clips of the things that he was getting through his devices, and we just connected, and he ended up actually building and sending me 3 of his devices.
This is the ghost box, and Basically, it's just an electronically tuned radio.
Born in 1953, radio engineer Frank Sumption built his first groundbreaking Frank's box in 2002. It became the basis for all future spirit boxes. Sumption described how his device works as a technological medium. This is simply another method of supplying raw audio that spirits and other paranormal entities can use to form voices. The raw audio is provided by the box rapidly and continuously sweeping across an entire AM, FM, or shortwave band. Frank passed away at the age of 60 in 2014. April explains why she thinks Frank would want to show up during their investigation.
I think Frank really wanted to show up because, if I'm completely honest, I haven't worked with any of his particular devices in several years. And when he was still among the living, he and I had discussions all the time about how we would communicate with each other should one or the other pass. And, you know, Frank has passed. And so on the other side, I think it was just time. I was getting kind of a nudging that, hey, you know, break the Frank's box back out. Let's have a conversation. He was familiar with it when he was alive, obviously, because he built it. And I've spent years with his devices. And so I think it was just time. I think he was growing a little impatient and really wanted to connect that way because that's something we both loved and enjoyed.
There's growing evidence for paranormal phenomena to materialize or manifest. They need some energy from the surrounding to allow this to happen. This includes UFOs, UAPs, cryptids, and the dead. We have been using a small Tesla coil to provide extra energy. A Tesla coil does two things. It provides a pretty substantial magnetic field, and it provides free ions and free electrons, positive ions, that some entity might use to materialize.
With the Tesla coil operational, April tries to encourage Frank to communicate through his box.
If you can help us out, can you help me figure this out? Can you say something? Give me an idea of what I need to do to make this work?
At the same time, Alan fires up his SLS camera.
This is the SLS camera. It uses an Xbox Connect sensor. It connects to a power supply and then to a Surface tablet. And essentially the heart of it is the Xbox Connect sensor. It has a camera, it has a infrared light source, and then a return light source. So basically it emits a pattern of little infrared dots. It's a rectangular pattern, there's thousands of them, and it measures those infrared dots, and it calculates how long it takes for those dots to bounce back off of something back to the sensor, and it creates a 3D map of the environment. And the idea that this was designed for was that as a Xbox user, you could become sort of the avatar. It takes your body and creates a character, and as you move, the character in the game moves. So the idea by using this with ghost hunting is that if we point this into a room where there are no people and we get bounced back in the shape of human forms, this can overlay what looks like a stick figure, and it locks onto arms and legs and hands, and as that stick figure moves, this can follow it and show it on the screen.
Finally, April gets the Frank's box to work. Then, amazingly, Alan detects an entity on the SLS camera.
Can you say purple? When I get to the right spot, just say purple.
Hey April, I got an entity in the chair with the box.
Oh, you do? Yeah. I think it's, is that you, Frank?
It just popped in like 2 seconds ago.
It's still there?
Oh yeah.
Frank?
It's reaching over and touching the box. Trying to help you.
Thank you. Right there?
See it reaching over?
Yeah. Puffing fog right now.
You're doing good. Keep it up. I can hear you, but I don't know that everybody else can. I can hear you.
Just look over at it.
It just reached down and grabbed your arm.
Aww. I can hear you, but I don't know that everybody else can. I can hear you.
Just look over at it.
It just reached. Oh, it looks like it's trying to turn something. It does.
It looks like it's what?
It's trying to turn those knobs.
Go ahead, Frank. Can you turn them? This is definitely Frank. This is definitely Frank.
Can I cross?
Frank is.
I might lose it if you do.
Go.
Oh, whoa, hold on.
Oh, wait.
We got a large entity just behind you
Behind me or over here?
in the doorway.
Awesome.
Well, explain.
It's okay. You
Frank's
can
still
come
there
back.
now.
Frank? Just, Frank, let me know when I need to stop, like where it's supposed to be. Or you can move it for me.
Again, Frank helps April adjust the Frank's box.
Looking down at it.
Yeah, he is.
At one.
The head's looking down at the box. Figure it out.
Have you worked with this in a room full of TVs before and a Tesla?
You want to move the Tesla coil?
This is the first.
Crouch down and get on the
Cathode
gate.
tubes create a
Me?
lot of
Yeah. If you want to. Don't block your.
Faraday cages.
Go over there and take the Tesla coil closer.
Won't allow it out.
It's
Yeah.
gonna I don't know if it's creating more noise.
Probably. But there is a voice. I've been able to hear it, but he's distant. Okay, I don't know what that means.
Because you're getting that, it sounds like you're getting an oscillation.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it closer right there.
Moving the Tesla coil closer amplifies Frank's voice.
Well, that made a difference. I could hear it. Did you get a difference? Don't know yet. Frank? Is he still with me?
No.
I didn't think so.
He's not. Did he?
When Byron walked through the field surrounding April and Frank, interestingly, Frank disappeared.
Yeah.
So I noticed when we were doing our investigation that, we were interacting with Frank and some different beings, and we had, a Tesla coil going and the Frank's box going, but on occasion someone would have to reposition something, piece of equipment, or they'd have to move from one side of the room to the other, and that interaction would sort of cease, and it would take a little while to kind of get things going again. So I think it's possible that, when we're doing these interactions and we actually are able to initiate communication, we're almost creating like a little mini portal or a bubble of paranormal. And then when that bubble or portal gets interrupted, we sort of have to start the process over to re-engage and open that thinner veil so that communication can continue.
With the camera switched to night vision and the infrared dots of the SLS camera now visible, Frank finally speaks.
Is that better? That's more of a radio signal than I've gotten this whole time. So listen to me. Did you hear that one?
Yep.
It carried over as the...
It went through multiple channels.
You did. Okay. I'm listening.
You can hear that.
Shit happens.
Yes.
All right, we got that.
That was clear.
I know, I was gonna go touch it, and I was like,
Don't touch it.
I think I've got it.
It's back in the chair.
Yeah. So one thing we noticed was we had a clear communication from the Frank's box, but at that time we weren't actually picking up anything on the SLS. So I believe that these entities take a lot of energy to do what they're trying to do, and materializing so that we can see them with the SLS and clear communication probably can't happen at the same time. They don't have enough energy, enough power to do both of those, so they sort of have to go back and forth between communicating and then being present in our realm.
Among the living, being able to pick up on people, communicating through such devices is really indicative of their talents, and then people on the other side have to kind of learn how to bridge that gap and work within their own abilities to communicate with us. And I think Frank was excited that we were all open to the fact that not only would we love to hear him possibly through the device, but we would like to see through the SLS or on any sort of equipment that we had with us in that room. I think he wanted to manifest in every way possible to say, hey, I'm actually really here. I'm still around. I'm still paying attention. And I think he just put as much energy as he could into it to manifest because he was so excited about the situation.
Frank was now back with April.
It's fluctuating so much.
Yeah, it's got literally his elbows on it, and his hand's kind of up now. He's kind of messing with the front of it a little bit.
April, you want to go take a look once?
Yeah, I do.
Stand up and see what happens.
I'll be right
It
back.
looks suspicious.
I'm just gonna stand up and look at it. Someone just said stay here.
Yeah.
I heard that.
He's got his feet on him.
I'm just gonna stay here then. I don't want to.
Like reaching out with his feet, like kind of kicking, like come back.
Okay, I'll stay. I'll look at it later. I think is that okay?
That's pretty good.
That was cool interaction.
Yeah, it was.
We know April. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I want you to leave them. They're getting through.
So, see if Alan can come over and connect with it.
I would like to. Come sit down by me and let's. I don't want to break the connection if I move. But if you want to try it without me, you can.
It's going.
I thought George would call.
Huh?
It went away?
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. Give it a second. It's okay. Patience. I just heard patience. So they might just have to get used to you being. Is that right? Do you just need a minute? No. Well, we're gonna hang out and just see if you can connect with Alan here, okay?
I'm Alan. I just came here to visit with you because I'm interested in this, and I feel like I have a connection to this world where you live, and I want to know more, and I want to connect more.
Submission.
It's back. And is sitting in the chair.
Just took a second.
I know.
It's reaching out to you.
To move him?
Yeah.
Awesome.
What do I need? Oh wow, I feel it.
Where?
It started in my elbow right here and it shot all the way through my whole body. It's like a tingle.
It's not a negative feeling.
Oh no, it's a hug. So when I came over here, it wasn't there at first, and then as we've been experiencing all night, it takes a few minutes and it came over, and I could kind of feel sort of like I do have hairs. I kind of feel the tingly, and then I forget exactly what we did.
It just said be patient.
Yeah, and then I reached out, and you could see on the SLS that it was touching me, and boy, I could feel it first here. It was sort of cold and tingly, and then just shot across my back down to my legs, and I just felt it. And then it was very strong right in my back, almost like it was like pulling me in almost. Yeah. So what did you feel when you reached up here?
When I put my hand up there and asked that somebody guide it, the physical movement of my hand was not my own will. So I allowed. There was a trust there. I just felt okay to allow whoever was with us, which I believe was Frank's assumption.
And Frank's the one that built.
He built this box. This is his number 37. I think in his lifetime he probably got up into the hundreds, but this was number 37. And so I've been reaching out to him and asking him to participate. So I felt okay to do that. But as I got closer to the dials, it was like somebody had put something cooling, like a cooling agent that made you kind of tingle, kind of when your hand wakes up after it falls asleep, to a smaller degree. And it was mostly on this side of my hand, and it was steadily there.
That's what I felt in my elbow.
Yeah, it was steadily there for a good 20 seconds or more.
And you could see in the SLS where your hand and it moved together, like it was pushing you. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
So validation,
Well, for sure. For sure.
When I learned to stop second guessing what I was feeling, then that's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
So thanks, Frank, and thank you. That was an interesting experiment.
It worked.
It did work.
The Frank guy, I believe that he knew
Somehow he's attached to that spirit box that she has. I think that's what she calls it. But somehow he's attached to that. And he was there with us and present.
The overall feeling was that we had just participated in and filmed one of the most remarkable interactions with an entity from the other side. But then April suddenly got up and moved quickly to another room. What occurred next was perhaps the most dramatic manifestation of a loved one from the other side ever filmed.
So when I open up, when I use all my abilities at the same time, which is very rare, especially in front of, other people, then I tend to not second guess myself and go with whatever urge or information that I'm getting. So when we were in the initial room, I just got the sense that the energy or the atmosphere or something about that space was going to help open that communication line even better. It wasn't, you need to go and talk to a spirit on the stairs. It was just go to where it was easier for whatever reason for both the living and the dead to connect. And so that's where I went. I just went where I was told to go, where I was shown to go, and it was successful.
It turned out that April and her mom, Sherry Page, who died not long ago, had made a plan to publicly reconnect.
So my mom passed away in June of last year due to kidney failure. And we had a little bit of time in the time before she got really sick, before she passed away. And even years before that, we had discussions about what it is that I do. And she was fascinated by all of it. I never had the chance to take my mom on a quote unquote ghost hunt or any of that, but she followed my career and she followed what I did, and she was very interested in it. And so we'd had many, many, many discussions before she died, where she promised that she would do everything she could to reach me in whatever way her talents or abilities on the other side would allow her to do.
And then there was Sherry next to April, who was sitting on the steps.
Popped in as soon as said that, standing flat against the wall, like if you were hiding against the wall.
It's okay, Mom.
There we go. Just coming down on the floor.
They're all my friends.
Yep, right next to you.
They're all my friends. Sorry if I get emotional, just hard. Thanks, Mom.
Feel anything on your other side?
It's on both sides.
Yeah, there's two figures standing. It was locking on you, but then that kind of shifted, and now there's something on your right and your left. You're in the middle.
I think my mom has somebody with her, brought someone.
Yeah, they're touching. They have their hand on top of your head.
I never met him, but it's my mom's brother. Oh, hi, Carl. Oh, this is weird. I'm feeling it on my left leg in the front, like on my shin.
Feel it kneeling down in front of you. She's standing up, so you're right, my left. She just looked. She's like right in your face.
Yeah, she's.
Put her elbow on your shoulder.
She's hugging you.
I feel something down the middle of my back.
Yeah, she reached in to hug you, I think.
I've been asking her to.
Wow. Still there.
She's proud of me. You know, the one thing that I miss and that I've begged my mom to do ever since she passed away is I can talk to her, I can hear, I can feel her, I can smell her sometimes, her perfume, but what I really wanted was a physical sensation, because I couldn't hug her, right? I couldn't touch her anymore because she's no longer in the physical space. So when we were interacting during that experience, the best way I know how to describe it is it's chill bumps without being chilled all over your whole body. And not only that, but I felt a lightness, and I felt a warmth, and I felt kind of like a euphoria. It's a strange way to put it, but I just felt like the connection was real. And I tell people, when it hits you in your heart, there's just no question, and you're not, that could be this or that, then you know that it is something pretty impressive. And that doesn't happen a lot, even for people like me that have abilities or that have been doing this a long time. It's okay. It's not gonna do anything.
Then Sherry was gone, but they both had their time together.
I'm distant now. I don't feel.
Yeah.
They're both gone. Oh, I think they'll be back.
I have two takeaways from the investigation. Both entities, Frank and April's mom, showed awareness. They were aware of the room, who was in the room, and Frank in particular was aware of his own Frank's box. Secondly, Frank solved a problem. He showed intelligence. He had to figure out a way to help April turn a knob to improve the functioning of the Frank's box. My second takeaway is that both entities, or ghosts, seem to find it easier to manifest in the infrared spectrum rather than the visual spectrum. The whole thing was very amazing, especially that we were able to capture it on film.
I think the one thing that was clear was that we were actually interacting with beings or possibly people that had passed on from another realm. And somehow they were able to hear us and respond to us, and we were able to pick up communications from them. I think it really confirms a lot of the things that I thought. What I believe, what I feel when I go into these places. There is an energy that carries on when we are no longer here. And I think this was proof of that.
I think the experience with Frank and my mom and with the group of people that was there with me, their knowledge of different technology, their knowledge of things otherworldly, all came together kind of in like a perfect storm. And that can happen far more frequently if people would put in the work and the dedication and the understanding to have moments like that.